Angela from Buckridge Homestead, and today is such a beautiful day. I thought it would be so perfect to get some baking done and some things around the house. And it's beautiful, but it's chilly, and so I'm gonna get busy and get the kitchen all cleaned up and ready. So I want to scrub my sinks today first because I like my whole kitchen clean before I get busy baking. And then I'm gonna just look through my recipes and pick something out that I really want to make, something that would be great for lunches. And yeah, I hope you come along with me on this absolutely gorgeous day. Okay, so these are my absolute favorite cookie. I just found this a few months ago and I've been making the same exact recipe. It's from A Pinch of Yum. It's absolutely delicious. I'll show you and tell you what I use in it, and I'll leave the recipe link below for you. It's so good, and I've even made it not with just chocolate chips, but you can put chocolate chips and nuts or chocolate chips and raisins, and they're so delicious. So these are what I'm going to make today first. Before I start a bunch of baking, I just wanted to show you all of this sage that I'm drying from my garden. I got so much. It's so beautiful. I thought of making sage sticks, but I ended up just starting to dry it. And this isn't even all of it. I still have more to pick. And I got my first little fall decorating stuff going on. So we've been in kind of cleanup mode for the patio, putting things away and moving the rug and washing the patio and just getting into fall mode. I love these because they're so easy and they're just such basic ingredients. And you know, some days how you just want a regular chocolate chip cookie, like without just plain chocolate chip, a nice chewy chocolate chip. These are them. They're so good. So flour, white sugar, brown sugar, baking soda, chocolate chips. I've mixed semi-sweet and milk chocolate because that's what I like to do, but you can use whatever you like. Butter, salt, vanilla, and eggs. And that's it. And then I get out my parchment paper and my cookie sheets. So these are just like such a good staple recipe. I just love it. So let's get going. So I'm going to be doubling this recipe. So you'll be watching me make a double batch, and so it calls for 8 tablespoons of butter. And so that's half a cup. So I'm going to be using 16, which is 1 cup. So I just popped that 1 cup of butter in the microwave, and I'm going to leave my stuff out because I'm still going to make muffins after this. So normally I clean as I go and I put things away, but right now I'm not going to. I'm going to leave them out unless they're ingredients that I don't need for the muffins. So I'm doubling this recipe. So I'm going to add 1 cup white sugar to that melted butter and half a cup brown sugar, which is kind of, oh, that's not really great measuring. And because it's packed, well, that's about half, but I need to make it packed. So I'm going to add a bit more. There we go. And then I'm going to strap that in there and get that stuff all mixed together nicely and creamed. So technically, if you're making a regular recipe, you only need half a cup brown sugar and half a cup white sugar. Sorry, a 1/4 cup brown sugar and half a cup white sugar. But I'm doubling it, so I want to make it a lot because they go so quickly. They're so yummy. These cookies do not last. So next is a teaspoon of vanilla. So I added 2 and 1 egg, and I added 2 of those. And then a teaspoon, or is it a teaspoon? Quarter teaspoon, but I just use my hands and pinch of a little bit of salt and get that all mixing. These come together so quick and easy. So I'm just going to get this stuff moved back over here and out of the way. So while these are mixing, and I've decided that I'm going to end up making bran muffins, so I'm going to start getting my bran muffin ingredients out. Yeah, that looks good. So now I need to just add the flour and the chocolate chips and the baking soda. So for me, 1 teaspoon baking soda. And for me, 1.5 cups is how for one recipe. So I need 3, 1, 2, 3, and you don't want to use too much extra flour because what will happen is they won't be soft and chewy. You want to use the exact ingredients. This is looking really good. It's all mixed up with the chocolate chips. So now I'm just going to go over to the stove and let's set the oven, I believe, at 350 to get warmed up. Now you probably wouldn't believe me, but this pan, I have way better recipes now. So this pan, this really made this pan used to look easier when I want to bake. So these, now you probably wouldn't believe me, but this pan used to look like this pan. So these are my really favorite heavy duty cookie sheets. After they're used and loved, this is clean. And it's still, that's how they turn out. So that's like a well-loved one. So I had to get another one recently. So I'm just going to get some parchment paper put on these and get these cookies into the oven. And they don't take very long. They're those kind of cookies that if you overcook them, they won't be chewy. So they take between 9 and 11 minutes, and you really have to watch. So I'm using my favorite cookie scoop. It's an old Pampered Chef cookie scoop. And then all my cookies are basically uniform in size. And then they all cook evenly. Well, some are a little bigger than others, but the dough turned out so nice. This is one of those doughs that if you start sampling it, watch out because you won't be able to stop. Honestly, it's super addicting. And I've decided I'm going to make bran muffins next. I wanted them to be healthy. I actually wanted to make some morning glory muffins, but I don't have any nuts and pumpkin seeds and stuff. So I am going to, sun's shining in so pretty, but it's making it hard to see. Sorry about that. So I'm going to make bran muffins, and I'll do the morning glory muffins next time when I have all the correct ingredients. So I'm just going to finish this one up and then pop this into the oven and get these going. And I'm going to start them on 9 minutes because I want to check on them. Sometimes the top of them even look a little wet, but you still want to take them out because they'll keep cooking on the cookie sheet. Okay. This is my cookbook drawer. Can you get any more full than that? Or cupboard, I should say. It's nice and hidden though in my cabinet. So it's a great place for cookies. But these are the two binders that I go to most. So here we go. Let's get these cookies rolling. I wonder if my oven's going to be all smoky because I made a roast the other night with Yorkshire puddings, and if anybody makes those, you know how that is. Oil smelling everywhere and dripping over the edge, bubbling. So hopefully not. So I'm going to do timer 9 and we will check it. So in the meantime, I'm going to get this like cleaned up, sorted out over here, and get all my stuff out for the Bran Muffins and see what else I need. So I'm a smart baker. I don't wash everything in between unless they're completely different foods. And since that was cookies and muffins, are both sweets, desserts, I just scrape that out as good as I can, put the rest of the chocolate chip dough in a bowl, so when those are done I can reuse that parchment. And now I'm going to start the Bran Muffins, which I'm doing 1 cup of oil, or you can even do this with applesauce, and 1 cup of white sugar, and now it calls for 3 eggs, but I'm doubling this, so technically that was only half a cup of oil or half a cup of sugar, but I double everything so I can freeze things. So I like to batch cook. So we will use all these eggs, and they're not that big. These are from our chickens and they're pretty little. So it calls for 3, so I'm going to use all 6. So what I do with my raisins is I put them in a bowl and I soak them in really hot water. So that's what I'm going to do while I'm waiting for all this stuff to come together. So I'm just going to soak this, get it nice and hot, and I'm just going to let that sit. It makes for a nice moister muffin, and your raisins don't taste all dried out. So that's what I like to do, is I like to soak them. The recipe doesn't call for it, but Grandma always taught me to do that. So now I have the oil, the sugar, the eggs, and a half a cup molasses, because I doubled it, in the bin. Oh, and I can hear my cookies, so let's go get them out. Ooh, those look perfect. So I added 1 more minute, so that was 10 minutes. So they look kind of just like brown lightly on the edges, but not overdone. Now these ones were on the bottom. They may need just 1 more minute for those, I think. Let's turn that off. Timer 1, go. Got these ones on the top are perfect. Now if you can see the bottom, that's how it should be. The top still looks not done, but it will be done, and they are so good. So now I'm just adding 3 cups of milk. Oh, and the cookies are now done. Good thing I'm running all over the place. Having a baking day, I guess. Wonder what else I feel like making. Perfect, those look so good. So I'm gonna reuse these cookie sheets. So I'm gonna get the rest of that, lift these up, take them off so I can reuse these cookie sheets and get these cookies finished. Oh, I just had to run up from the basement and grab some lemon juice. So I've got the 3 cups of water in there and 2 tablespoons of lemon juice. And now I'm going to add the wheat germ. So let's, wheat bran, I should say, not wheat germ. And we want to do 4 cups because, again, we're doubling it. And I want to put it on top of the milk like this because it will soak. So if you're, I like the wheat bran better than recipes with the cereal in it because I find they're not as moist. So was that 3 cups? Yes. Okay, 1 more. So that would mean I'm doing 4. So I'm just going to stir this in a little bit myself and kind of just let that soak. So I made that buttermilk kind of with the lemon juice. I've got the raisins over here soaking. Yeah, this is kind of what, I could use the mixer, but I just want to do it gently. And just get that all scraped away from the sides and really get that bran moistening up. One other thing I like to do, and I've never seen anyone else do this, I just like to do it, is I like to sprinkle a bit of flax seed in there, probably half a cup. And if I need to, I'll add just a titch more milk or something, but it doesn't really seem to make a difference. I just want that extra health factor of adding the flax, and I love that nutty flavor that it gives, so I just like to add a bit in there even when stuff doesn't call for it. Okay, look how beautiful these are. Aren't they gorgeous? The chocolate's actually running out, and I'm telling you, you will not, these won't make it to the freezer. The muffins will, but these won't. So I've got the rest of my dough put onto the cookie sheet. So I ended up getting 3 sheets. Those over there cooling. This sheet that's done, and then 1 more. And I'm going to put the timer to exactly 10 because that's what I found for my oven. Worked absolutely perfect for these. So is this cool? Perfect. I'm going to add these to the cooling block. Oh, something's on. There we go. They look so good. You guys, you have to try this recipe. It is the best. And I have been baking for years, but I've never, these are like the original Toll House chocolate chip cookies. And I've tried Toll House copycat recipes. They're not as good as these. These are so good. So basic, so simple, so easy, and so good. Okay, I'm back at the Bran Muffins. The cookies are all taken care of. I have added, I put the 3 cups of milk in. I put the 2 tablespoons of lemon juice in. So we've got the 1 cup oil, 1 cup sugar, 6 eggs, the half a cup of molasses, 3 cups of milk, 4 cups of wheat bran, 2 teaspoons of baking powder, 2 teaspoons of baking soda, 1 teaspoon of salt. And now we're going to add, and they called for whole wheat flour, but I'm just using white flour. But now I'm going to drain off of these raisins, the majority of it. Yeah, and I'm going to add that, and if there's a little extra liquid, that's okay because I added that extra flax. Oh yeah, I added about half a cup of flax that it didn't call for, but I always like to do that because I told you I love that nutty flavor. So our last thing is to add flour, and we're going to add, so it's calling for 1 2/3, which means I'm going to do about 2 2/3. 1 2/3 and 2 and, oh no, so that would be another half a cup or a cup, about 3/4 of a cup actually. Okay, so let's get this mixing and see what the consistency is like. And that, like I said, I'm using white flour, not just whole wheat flour. But go ahead and do that if you have it and you prefer to do that. I always save all these eggshells and crunch them up for my chickens and feed them back to them because they're so good for them. Let's turn that up a bit and off. Oh, that looks perfect. That's actually a great consistency. It shouldn't be dry, but it shouldn't be super watery. And don't skimp on the molasses part. That is like crucial. I just love the flavor of the molasses. Brings such a rich, yummy flavor. Okay, I think what I'm gonna do is throw this back down and mix it for another minute or so while I get the muffin cups and muffin tins all sorted out. Also, we want to finish these cookies so we can turn the oven up to 400. Okay, the last of the cookies are out. Aren't they beautiful? Turned out so nice. Still hot, but as you can see, these ones are so good. I can't wait to have one. So those are done. Hey, Brian. Oh, he's laying in the sun, getting his tan. So I've heated up the oven now to 400 and I've got all the cookies finished. So basically now I've got all the muffin wrappers in the tin. And one secret that I do is I even spray inside of the muffin wrappers when I'm making bran muffins, because they tend to really stick. And then they come out of these really nice. Otherwise, I find that you lose half the muffin in the paper. And this is just Kirkland cooking spray. And look at our batter, it looks so good. So let's see. I'm just gonna put one heaping spoon into each one of these. And since I doubled it so I could freeze half the batch, it should easily make both of these fill both of these. And it looks like there's even going to be more than that. But I can top these up because when you use these kind of paper muffin liners, they're so nice and tall that you can put a lot of extra in there. So first of all, I'm just going to make them all even. And then after that, I will top them all up with whatever's left, because it does look like a lot, but you never know. I like a nice, generous bran muffin. Oh, that means the oven's heated up to 400 now, because that's why I like to bake more than one thing at a time. The oven's already hot, and you could be working on another project while the other one is in the oven. And you're saving on electricity by not turning things on and off and on and off. And you can reuse the same dishes, wash them all at the end. I mean, you can't do that with every recipe, like if you're making homemade marshmallows. And I guess that's on my mind because as Christmas gets closer and fall, I love to make homemade marshmallows for hot chocolate and stuff. Okay, so I do need to fill this one. I'm gonna scrape the rest of that out and get these in the oven. Well, it turned out that there was exactly enough. Oh, there's that little bit of smoke from the Yorkshire puddings, but that's okay. It's almost all burned off. And I can fit these on the same row. But anyway, it filled that recipe filled every single muffin wrapper perfectly. There was none extra to top up, so it works out great. Timer 16. Then I'm gonna check them. Might need up to 20, 22, I'm not sure. We will see, but I don't want them to be rock hard, so I'm gonna check. I don't know if you've ever done this before, but if you're on a budget, this is an awesome idea. So if money's tight and saving things we're trying to save the planet here. So there's chocolate and things all over. But what I do is I take a rag, a clean, hot, brand new rag, and I wipe the parchment paper off, and then I just let it dry, and I reuse this for cookies again the next time, because there's a little chocolate on there, no big deal. So this one's just dry. I've already wiped that one. I just did that one to show you. And I can reuse this one. This paper is good for more than one use. So then I just fold the sheets up together and I put them in my drawer because parchment is expensive. And I will reuse that again. Like I probably got this one from something. Oh, that one's got chocolate on it. But I probably saved it from something else. That might gross some people out, but honestly, you don't even have to wash them. I just give them a rinse. They don't even need soap. And we're saving money and we're saving the environment. And parchment is expensive. So that is me on Pinterest. I save a lot of these recipes here. And if you want, come find me on there. And I have a lot of my own recipes myself. Okay, the buzzer has gone off. And in all transparency, I opened it up at 16 and thought it needed another minute. So I will just let the steam go and let's check these bad boys. Ooh, those are perfect. So 17 minutes is what they took for me, and they look fantastic. And they're not all hard. You don't want to overdo Bran Muffins, but you don't want them raw either. There's a happy place with Bran Muffins. So just touch the top and make sure that it bounces back. The edges don't get too dark. Those look beautiful. Wow, very pleased with them. So between those, hey girls, what is that fell out? Oh, containers fell out of my cupboard. And the cookies, this is gonna be delicious. So guess what I am doing? I'm gonna take that big, huge one. It looks so divine. And I cut up a banana. And this is going to be my lunch. I'm gonna make a cup of tea and let this cool for a few minutes, and I can't wait. So I hope that you enjoyed that baking day with me. We had fun. I might even make one more thing, I'm not sure. So I'll keep you posted in a few minutes.